That's awesome. So how did you and Gary hook up? Have you known Gary forever, or?
I wouldn't say forever. We're both
Okay.
very proud. We're both very proud Clevelanders.
Oh, good.
I
good.
mean, Cleveland runs through our blood.
Nice.
And
There's something in the water.
Yeah, that's great.
in Cleveland, Gary's. In my opinion, who doesn't know Gary from American Splendor and all kinds of other things, and it's. He's the nicest guy in the world, and being that he liked this idea and worked with me, it's an honor. Any comic artist, writer, anybody in the country, it's an honor to work with Gary.
The one thing I love about it, Scott and Gary, is that, like looking through it, I felt like it was like what I consider like a true independent comic,
yes,
like
100%,
like the Harvey Picar stuff, or even like Peter Baggs' Hate, and Ghost World, stuff like that. Like, I really felt like going through it. This is
Milk and
what
cheese.
I think of when I think of true independent comics, especially from like the 70s and the 80s. So bravo to both of you guys for that, because that's what it felt like to me when I was just looking through it. And like I said, I can't wait to read it. So I just got to get a few minutes of time to actually sit down and read it.
If you like the pictures, you'll like it even more with the words.
Okay, I like that. That's great.
For sure.
So I was curious, like, is the Cleveland comic scene, is it as cool as I think it is?
I think it's pretty cool, although, it's somewhat limited.
Okay.
There are other artists like Aaron Lang and Jay Kelly who are both also doing good stuff.
Okay.
So if you don't know those names, Google those fuckers.
Okay.
Durf.
Definitely will.
Durf just won. He's won. He's won every comic award you could win this past year, right,
Really?
Gary?
That's why I didn't mention him. He's omnipresent.
Oh yeah, sorry, never mind. Forget about Durf. He's got enough publicity.
Well, you always get that feeling there's like those pockets of cities and stuff where, like there's a
Superman
cool,
was born there.
Right,
Superman
yeah,
was born in Cleveland. Of
yeah.
course, it's a good comic scene.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's why
Cleveland rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I repeat to the extent I may be very redundant. There's something in the water.
Yes. That's great. Send me a cup. Send me a cup, Exactly. It's
And
like
the consistent opposition of good to evil is the essence of everything, from the Bible to every new comic book that you read.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, definitely. You could boil down almost every story in human existence to that, So
Good versus evil.
It's a story. People like stories.
Yep.
And in order to have a story, you have to have a protagonist and an antagonist.
Yep.
I didn't see too much of that in American Splendor, but you see it everywhere else.
Yeah, right. That's true. So how did you guys initially meet? Like, was it years before this, or was it before the comic?
There's an art scene in Cleveland that I've done everything that I can do through the years to try to buoy up to make comics be considered as fine art. And whether I've succeeded even a little, my wife and I have both done that. We also do collaborative paintings, and I will just make one short little plug for us.
Yeah, definitely.
We did a series of acrylic paintings based on my ideas. My wife then does paintings. We call them our environmental monster series.
Nice.
And they're about current events. They're about climate change. They're about all the things that are going on that seemingly nobody cares about. I'm amazed, and I'm undaunted. But the way I feel about it is, I got only a few more years. I gotta keep doing stuff to draw people's attention to things that we think need the attention.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
like that,
gangsta.
Gary.
I love that, Gary. That's so awesome that you're like I gotta make sure that my word is known. I love that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go to www.dumbart and you'll see all of our good stuff.
Dumb art. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I'm going there right now, Gary.
Dumb art.
They're beautiful paintings, and Gary and Laura have been, instrumental in getting a lot of comic-based exhibits in Cleveland. I remember the Artist Archives of the Western Reserve show. I think you guys curated it, but there's a strong comic scene in Cleveland, but also, I think comics are finally regarded as fine art. They should be. They should have been 100 years ago, but you know how people are. But Gary and Laura are driving forces in making that happen in Cleveland, and I think it's a really good scene. I'm not an expert, but Gary and Laura's work is awesome.
Yeah,
Every chance we get, we push comics.
That's great. Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome.
I love specifically that indie comic scene too. Like that, it's so. When I was in college and stuff, I love that. Like people just doing like zines and that kind of stuff. I just love that. There was a little bit of that going on in Boston. And I was at Kubert School in '95, and there was a little bit of that scene in that area in New Jersey as well, and New York and all that stuff. So I just love that, that feel, and I don't see that all that much anymore around here anyways, So it's like, I'm glad it's still alive in these pockets, all across the country, which I love, so.
I feel the same way about the idea when I hear people saying, how can comics survive? Fewer and fewer kids are buying comics, although they may be playing games, etc. But for me, the aspect is this. Even if the major publishers would give up the ghost, I think there'll always be folks who have to express themselves in comics because it's such a great medium.
Yeah, definitely.
Ahoy, mateys! 'Tis I, Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, and I be here to tell you some exciting news. Mighty Mascots Issue 7, 8, and 9 has been extended for another 30 days, and we be adding exciting perks for you. Feast your eyes on these new exciting perks that are available only on Indiegogo. This exclusive retro-style lunchbox is just what you need for back-to-school lunches or lunch in the office. You'll be the talk of the town. This exclusive puppet can also be yours. A high-quality handmade version of me, Horatio Honeyflakes, can be yours to grace your room, your office, or be the highlight of any comic fan collection. So back the Mighty Mascots today to have any of these fabulous perks. But only one Horatio Honeyflakes. Ha-ha! Mascots unleash!